Whoops, I was muted. That's embarrassing. Whoops. Whoopsie. Well, as I was saying when I was talking to myself, welcome back to Spooky Saturday. It's a lovely Saturday afternoon in the dreary city of Melbourne, and I believe there is torrential rain in Sydney, so that's fun for you guys, I guess. Enjoy that. As per usual, I will be staying inside my home until twilight, when I shall perhaps venture to stick my head outside without dying of radiation poisoning. Thank you, Lupus. There were rumors going around that I'm a vampire, and I can neither confirm or deny that. Who knows? Maybe Lupus is just a cover for vampires. How's my baba doing? She's probably going to get to go back to the nursing home this weekend. She had a blood transfusion, or she either had it yesterday or she's having it today. And yeah, I mean, as well as can be expected for a very, very, very elderly lady that smashed her hip, I guess. She's a bit confused because, like, she doesn't remember doing it, obviously, because she has Alzheimer's. She can't remember. She can't really form any new memories. So she's just kind of in a lot of pain, and she doesn't remember how she did it. And yeah, but I think considering how bad it was and everything, she seems to have, like, pulled out of the anesthesia very well. She seems to have, she's a very tough old lady, just like me. Well, I'm not an old lady yet. We're getting there. We are getting there. With each passing year, we are getting closer to entering our crone stage. We already have the hat, guys. Look at the hat. Admire the hat. Yes, we are ever creepingly, I don't know, I can't speak English. We are creeping ever closer to our crone stage. There we go, I got it out eventually. Yay, we did it. Anyway, without further ado, let's watch some spooky videos. Oh, I just realized I did something wrong. Hang on. Technical stuff. There we go. I fixed it, did I? I hope so. Oh. La 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 la. Oh. Oh. I forgot the skeleton man comes out and tries to get me. Hang on. I'm just playing with my mic. I think that's a better position. I got one of those fancy Rode mics. It was like $250. I have invested so much money into my streaming career. So let's hope this works out, guys, because I bought a new PC and I bought a new microphone, because I had like one of those Yeti microphones, but I think it was like 10 years old, and it apparently it was like emitting like this weird humming noise, and not everyone noticed it, but I think, like, you know, there are just people that can hear TVs on in the other room and stuff. I think those types of people were like, no, my freaking ears. So I was like, you know what? I will invest $250 into getting a nice mic. And I hope it's appreciated, guys. All right. We're going to look at 10 haunted roads in Victoria, because whenever I do drive, it's always at night. So, you know, why not? Why not know about all the roads that are haunted so I can psych myself out and think I'm seeing apparitions on the way home? Because who doesn't like to scare themselves shitless for no reason? Oh. Oh.
The road stretches before you. Empty, endless, and silent. Yet something feels wrong.
This is a Great Ocean Road. All I see is heaps of pretty stuff. This road is so pretty. I will give it to Victoria. The Great Ocean Road is very pretty. What is it? The Otways, that rainforest is kind of nice. The 12 Apostles, even though there's like, what, 5 or 6 of them left, they're very nice. Look, I will have to concede it is a very pretty road. I did do that, like, I did do the Great Ocean Road drive from Melbourne about 5 years ago, and boy did I need to do a big wee, but at the end of it, I ended up having to do a bush wee at the 12 Apostles. Sorry to anybody that may or may not have witnessed that spectacle.
The trees lean closer than they should. The shadows bend at unnatural angles, and every turn of the headlights reveals only more darkness waiting ahead. Tonight, we'll wander the haunted roads of Victoria, Australia, where accidents repeat like curses, where figures vanish before your eyes, and where silence itself seems alive. These are not just paths carved through bushland and farmland. They are corridors between the living and the dead. Would you dare to drive them after midnight?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've probably driven a lot of these roads after midnight. I'm pretty sure I have probably driven these roads after midnight. I do a lot of like nighttime driving. I have very bad anxiety, and so I like to take a few friends and drive up to the mountains in the middle of the night, or like drive down to the beach in the middle of the night. And like, I really, really like going for drives. It's just something I can't do in the daylight hours. So I bet I have driven on a lot of these roads at nighttime. And look, if I was a ghost, I would be scared of me, honestly. If I was a ghost, I would be scared of me, because I'm a feisty little possibly allegedly a vampire. I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations. I don't know. Is there a blood test for that? Can I check somehow? I don't know.
10. Gisborne Melton Road. Gisborne VIC.
Okay, I have been on this road at night.
Call it the Ghost Road. For years, locals traveling the stretch between Gisborne and Melton have whispered about a figure that appears out of nowhere, standing on the asphalt in the dead of night.
Asphalt.
You're driving home late, the country silence pressing in, when the shadow of a woman drifts across your headlights.
That definitely looks like a bloke to me. Worst if it was with the fog. Yeah, there's a lot of fog in Australia at night. There's a lot of fog. But they're like, it's the shadow of a woman. Insert shadow of a giant, big-ass bloke who looks like a front rower. Like, look at this guy. It looks like he's a front rower for, like, South Sydney or something.
She looks solid enough that you slam on the brakes. But by the time the car stops,
there's some boobies.
she's gone.
See, this is more like it. We got some boobies. We got some, vegetation area, if you will. We've got a nice little, see-through nightie. That is looking a lot more chic. That is giving ghost chic. She is the moment. She is the midnight hour. And I can feel her power. Let's go.
And the road is empty once again. The legend says she is a young woman killed in a car accident decades ago. Her spirit unable to move on. Truck drivers...
Oh, these pictures get scary, man. Let me move so you can see that. Which way should I move? This way? Nope. This way? Someone help me. Why can't I move out of the way? I can't move. Anyway, they've got like this freaky ass bitch with like no eyes, the picture, and it I don't like the jump scares. I'm not a fan of the jump scares. Those do get me, I will say. I am not a fan of the jump scares. Let's do this background instead. Move out of the way, panda. Why aren't you moving? Why aren't you? Yeah, my webcam can't pick me up at this angle. Oh, there we go. Anyway, it's a bitch with no eyes. Just take my word for it. It scared me. I don't like it. Give a girl some warning before you stick your ghostly freaky face out in public. I don't need to see that. Sort out your life, etc., etc. So that's all I have to say.
Claim to have seen her most often, sometimes stepping onto the road, other times already standing in the middle of it, forcing vehicles to swerve. There are stories of drivers who stopped, thinking they'd hit a real person, only to find nothing but skid marks and a faint scent of perfume lingering in the air.
Just as an aside, I hate those girls that wear so much perfume you can smell them like 10 minutes after they left. Like, why you be doing that? Just, you know, I'm not a fan of that. I am against that, some might say. Thank you for following Talon Wolf 101. Good to have you aboard.
The atmosphere of this road is unsettling, even without the ghost. The bends are sharp. The bush grows thick around it, and fog rolls in heavy during the colder months. Many believe this is why her spirit lingers bound to the mist, replaying her final moments again and again. Some say that if you drive the road with your windows down, you might hear footsteps pacing beside your car, keeping up even as you accelerate. Whether she's a lost soul seeking help, or a restless shade, warning others not to share her fate. One thing is certain, travelers leave Gisborne Melton Road with more questions.
And it's not Gisborne with a Z, it's Gisborne with an S. And yeah, it's not a scary place with like ye old timey pubs, I will tell you that. I went to Gisborne because my best friend's favorite author is Dean Koontz. I don't know if you're like familiar with, I think it's like true crime books. I don't know. I don't read that stuff because I find it disturbing. But you know, she's heaps into that type of stuff. And this lady was like selling a bunch of Dean Koontz books, and I was getting it for a part of her birthday present. So she had like basically all of his books in like really good condition. So I drove out to Gisborne to get them. And it's literally just like a housing estate, you know, brand new brick houses and whatever, I guess built on old farmland. There's nothing spoopy out there. There's definitely not ye oldie pubs where like colonial fellas are sitting around with their gas lamps. But I guess the road is kind of foggy at night. I don't know. I didn't see any ghost ladies, so I feel ripped off, quite frankly.
Than answers. 9. The Black Forest Road, Macedon Ranges, Vic.
Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite place to drive at nighttime in Melbourne. I go up to Mount Macedon, and it's like this windy road that goes up the mountain, and there's like a tea house at the top. Obviously, the tea house is like closed at nighttime. I think it closes in the afternoon. But I like to drive up there because it's like kind of like a rally drive. It's like, you know, there's lots of windies and stuff. But last time I went up there, I got a flat tire, so you gotta be careful. I had to turn around because it was too foggy. It was so foggy that I literally couldn't see like 20 centimeters in front of my car. So I was like, well, you know, I can't have fun going around the bends if I can't see. Because it was pitch black. There's no street lights because it's a country road, so there's no street lights, and it's like literally a spiral up the mountain. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that, especially because there's heaps of roos and stuff. I don't want to hit a kangaroo at any speed when I can't see. So I went to turn around, and because there wasn't really anywhere to turn around, I had to do like a 3-point turn into like the shrubbery basically, and I think a rock or something like that got my tire. There were air fresheners that were a form of nerve gas. Oh no. Women put more perfume till they couldn't smell it. Oh, that's smart.
Locals whisper that the Black Forest doesn't like visitors. This stretch of road, cutting through dense, towering pines.
Okay, I have to tell my friends because this is literally where we do probably 60% of our nighttime driving is in the Macedons. We'd like to go out to like Wood End and then turn down that road that goes past like... We'd like to go out to like Wood End and then turn down that road that goes past like, what's it called? Hanging Rock. I don't know what these places are called, so bear with me. And we drive out there and then we drive up to like Mount Macedon. And like I said, we go up that winding road that goes up to the top of Mount Macedon where that tea house is in the middle of the night. Except last time I got myself a flat tire, so screw you, Mount Macedon, you smell. And that's all I have to say. But yeah, I wanna know what creepy stuff I was driving through. Please enlighten me, sir. Please enlighten me, Mr. AI man. I need to know.
Pines is older than most settlements nearby and carries a reputation darker than the shadows it casts. In the mid-1800s, this road was notorious as a haven for bushrangers who would ambush travelers, leaving many beaten, robbed, or worse.
I think Ned Kelly would have been really, really hot. I mean, I know he's not talking about Ned Kelly, but when you think about bushrangers, who do you think about? Like, I think maybe back in the day, I would have been a true crime girly, but like, I would have ridden to like Ned Kelly when he was in jail. I don't know. He just seems like he would have been hot. I'm just saying. Just chucking that out there, guys. Have I tried the pies in Wood End? I have, actually. I did have a meat pie. I am a fan. I love a good meat pie. I do.
Some never left the forest alive. Their restless spirits are said to wander the roadside, reenacting their last desperate struggles. Drivers have reported strange, flickering lanterns appearing between the trees' lights that vanish when followed. But there's another tale. Far stranger, a phantom coach, drawn by spectral horses, thundering through the night. Several witnesses have sworn they heard the wheels rattling over gravel, the cracking of a whip, and the heavy breath of horses only for the sound to dissolve into silence as the unseen carriage raced past. The Black Forest...
They have electricity, just so you know. We do have electricity in Australia, to start just throwing it out there. It was pretty peaceful when you were working there, no phone reception. Yeah. I went for a hike there because I think this was before I had lupus or before I had my diagnosis of lupus. Like, I think I had lupus, but I hadn't been diagnosed with it yet. I was going to go to Hanging Rock because like I was always a fan of like the Peter Weir movie. So I was going to go to Hanging Rock, and then you have to pay to go, like you have to pay to go, like get in. What the fuck? I was like, fuck that. So I drove all the way, not all the way. I drove like further along that road, and I just went like to a walk to like, I think it was called like Sanitarium Lake or something. Where was this story going? Oh yeah, no phone reception. That's where the story was going. So I went for a walk there. It was like the easiest bushwalk ever. I was like, this is a bushwalk for babies. Anyway, that's my conclusion.
Itself feels oppressive. The kind of place where the air never seems to move. Even during the day, light barely filters through the canopy.
I guess it does.
The road becomes a tunnel of darkness where the boundary between past and present seems to erode. Would you dare to stop here if your car broke down?
I literally got a flat tire there. Okay? I literally got a flat tire there because I tried to do a 3-point turn using the bush. And I don't know what punctured my tire, but yeah, because I was not going to try and drive up Mount Macedon when I couldn't see 10 centimeters in front of my car. There's no street lights and there's lots of roofs, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I tried to turn around because there was literally nowhere to turn around, and yeah, thanks. I had to buy myself a new tire, and I don't appreciate that. Was that the ghost that did that? If so, we've got beef. We have a beef because I tell you what, the type of tire my car needs ain't cheap. Michelin tires do not come cheap, guys. They do not. And I have a grudge.
Surrounded by trees older than memory and shadows that don't quite behave like shadows. Many choose to drive faster instead, as though speed alone could keep the unseen riders and outlaws of the forest at bay. 8. Calder Highway, Sunbury, Vix. Some roads are cursed, not by lead.
I like the pronunciation of all of these. Get it right, Mr. AI man. I used to go out to Sunbury sometimes because they have like a reading cinema there, and it was like $10 for movie tickets. And they also had like a Taco Bill, and I used to go, not Taco Bell, Taco Bill, B-I-L-L, and they had like two for $1 Tuesday or something, and I used to go there with my friend, and we would go watch a movie, and we would drink like their like cheap margaritas and eat food, and then go see a movie for like, I don't know, like $30 or something. It was you know, we're cheapos. We are cheap women, and that's the way we live our lives. So that's the way we live our lives, scumbag. All right.
But by blood. The Calder Highway, linking Melbourne to Bendigo, has long been branded one of Victoria's most dangerous. But the danger isn't just physical. It's said to carry an energy of tragedy that refuses to fade. Over the decades, countless accidents have occurred along its twisting, high-speed stretch.
My best friend's husband died along this road. She got married when she was like 18 because she used to be a Christian. And yeah, he died in a car accident when he was like 19 on this road. So she was a very young widow. And yeah, that was a long time before I moved to Melbourne, but she moved back to Sydney, and yeah. Anyway, sucks. Does suck.
Stretches. Locals claim that the land itself seems hungry, drawing cars into collisions that defy explanation. Survivors often speak of seeing a figure on the roadside moments before impact a fleeting shape that vanishes before their eyes. Was it distraction, hallucination, or something more sinister? Police officers who patrol the highway after dark tell quieter stories of headlights that follow their cars for miles before blinking out suddenly.
Yeah, this guy just feeds a bunch of like prompts into AI and generates his videos like that. So that's why I don't feel bad just watching all of their content, because they literally just made it all with AI. And to be fair, like I could generate my own stuff with AI and then like respond to it, but you know, there are only so many hours in the day, to be honest. You did see a guy on a scooter on it once, like a motorized scooter or like an e-scooter? What kind of scooter? Like a razor scooter? What are we talking about here? Like a moped or like an e-scooter or like e-scooter? Oh my God. I worry for those people's safety. First of all, I worry for their intelligence levels, and then I worry for their safety. It's, yeah. You're not surviving any type of crash on one of those things. Like, you were straight up dying. But, thinking just about the Christian girl that I was just telling the story about, it was really, really funny because in high school, I was like the goth girl that was like, you know, a little bit naughty. Well, a lot naughty. I was a pretty I was a pretty naughty kid. Anyway, now the Christian girl, she's like fully like, you know, rainbow hair and like piercings, and she's like heaps into bondage and stuff. Actually, I went to one of her Halloween parties a few years ago, and she spanked my ass with like this giant paddle as I was walking up the stairs, and fuck, that hurt. Like that was not enjoyable, thank you, young lady. But and it's really funny, and now I'm like pretty straight edge, and like we completely like swapped roles in life. Because I used to like tell her all these stories about the things that I did on the weekend, and she would be like, and she would be like blushing, and I would like tell her all these stories about like me and my boyfriend, and like, this is like just to give you an idea of what I used to be like in high school. Like I had my lip pierced, I had my nose pierced, I had my eyebrow pierced. I used to wear fishnets with knee-high lace-up boots to school. The school uniform was like a short little tartan skirt. Mine was really short. Like the school blouse with the school tie. And like that was, you know, that was my whole thing. Like very, you know, slutty goth. Slutty goth. And now I'm like so straight edge. And now she's all like fully into bondage and I don't know, witchcraft or whatever. Like we swapped roles. It's really funny. It's really funny. I'm the most boring person out now. And yeah, we completely swapped roles. I wonder if like I planted the seeds of corruption in her head or something. I really do wonder about that. Whoopsie, bad influence coming through. Never mind me.
Leaving no vehicle behind. Of roadside memorials where flowers never seem to wilt, as though unseen hands tend to them.
They're probably fake flowers. They are probably fake flowers. Let me say, you can get these things called fake flowers, and they don't wilt because they're not real. There you go. Unsolved mysteries solved by Panda-chan, live on the air.
One chilling tale describes a driver who picked up a hitchhiker near Sunbury. She was quiet, pale, and strangely cold, but gave directions calmly.
I feel attacked. I'm very pale and cold, unless I have a fever, which is most of the time. But sometimes when I have a fever, like I'm so clammy that I feel like cold to the touch. Like my hands are always really cold a lot of the time. But that's what they say, cold hands, warm heart. There you go. He only picked her up because she looks like Daenerys from Game of Thrones. Let's be honest. We know what kind of fetish you have, young man.
When they reached her destination, the driver turned to find the seat empty, yet the door had never opened. Searching later, he discovered she had died in a crash on the Calder decades earlier, her spirit forever trying to make it home. The highway is modern, busy, and relentlessly lit by headlights. Yet it holds the aura of a graveyard. Every cross planted in the soil marks not just a tragedy, but perhaps another restless soul bound to this endless road.
It's not endless, it goes to Bendigo, mate. You just freaking said.
Midland Highway, Bendigo to Castlemaine Vic. The Midland Highway is a ribbon of bitumen linking Bendigo to Castlemaine. But under its ordinary surface lies a trail of unease. Drivers speak of something strange that stalks them between the towns, a dark presence that seems to watch from the roadside. Imagine driving late at night. The gum trees stand like black pillars in the distance, and the road hums beneath your tires. Then, in the rearview mirror, you notice headlights. At first, they follow at a steady distance, but soon they grow brighter, closer too close. You grip the wheel tighter, the glow filling your mirror. But when you turn off at the next stretch of road, the lights vanish. No car passes, no engine roars by, just empty darkness behind you. This phenomenon is so common that locals call it the ghost tale. Many believe it's the...
I mean, let's be honest, a lot of cunts in Victoria like to tailgate. Let's be honest, they do. It's very aggressive and it's very rude and I don't appreciate it. But especially if ghosts are doing it, that's extra rude. That's extra rude. You're dead. Why are you in such a hurry, sir? You are dead. Overtake me, okay? Just overtake me. I mean, you're driving like a dickhead anyway, Mr. Ghostman. Just drive on the wrong side of the road and overtake me.
Spirit of a motorist killed in a head-on collision decades ago, condemned to follow others down the same stretch, forever unable to finish the drive. Some stories describe not just headlights, but the sensation of a cold draft brushing the back of the neck, as though someone or something has slipped into the back seat. Older legends link the road to bushranger ambushes in the 19th century, with rumors of travelers who vanished without trace. Some swear they've glimpsed shadowy riders moving parallel to the road, horses silent as mist, keeping pace with modern cars, as though the centuries have collapsed into one. Would you pull over to check who's really behind you? Or would you keep driving, knowing some passengers aren't meant to be seen? 6. Geelong Bacchus Marsh Road, Anaki Vits. In the rolling countryside near Anaki lies a stretch of road that twists through farmland and bush. By day, it feels harmless quiet, almost beautiful. But by night, Geelong Bacchus Marsh Road takes on a reputation steeped in dread. Many drivers have reported the sudden appearance of a lone figure, a man in tattered clothes, wandering the shoulder of the road.
It sounds like my type. You better watch out. I'm coming to town. Watch out.
His face is obscured, but witnesses say his gait is unnatural, jerking like a puppet pulled on tangled strings.
Oh, okay. I got excited.
Some claim he turns his head to follow your car, his hollow stare meeting yours in the mirror long after you've passed him. Local lore suggests this spirit could be a drifter who died on the road in the early 20th century, struck down by a passing carriage or wagon long before cars haunted this stretch. Others say he is tied to the region's darker history stories of settlers and violence in the land's earliest colonial days, when the road cut across disputed ground. Travelers have spoken of cars stalling without explanation near Anaki, radios picking up nothing but static, and headlights flickering as though some invisible hand dims them. More chilling still are those who stop, believing they've come across a living man in need, only to find the figure dissolving into the shadows of the night.
I would laugh
Perhaps
if I
the
saw
road
that.
remembers its forgotten dead, and each traveler risks becoming part of its endless procession. 5. Prince's Highway, Warrnambool.
The Princess Highway literally goes around the Australian continent. Like, it literally is one of the longest roads in the world. But, yeah, okay. I mean, sure.
To Allendsford, Vix. The ocean wind lashes against your car as you follow the Prince's Highway toward Allendsford.
I want to check how long the Princess Highway is. It's very freaking long, I can tell you that. I think it goes from Sydney to Adelaide or something. How long is the Princess Highway? Oh, I thought it was longer than that. It has a length of 1,941 kilometers or 1,206 miles. Starts in Sydney, specifically at the junction of Broadway and City Road in the suburb of Chippendale. Oh, good old Chippo. It then travels south, following the coastline through New South Wales and Victoria, ending at Port Augusta in South Australia. There you go. There you go, guys. It's a long way. Could that be my friend's husband? You said he died a long time ago. He didn't die that long ago. He's not like, you know. I know you guys think I'm a vampire, but I'm not like a century old or anything like that. Like, you know. It's yes. Stop making up fake lore about me. It's not true. Yeah, I'm only 600. Thank you, Delta. I'm only 600 years old. Leave me alone. Leave a girl. Leave a sprightly young 600-year-old gal alone. All right. Jeez.
It should feel freeing, the open road, the salt air, but instead, it feels like something is pressing down on you.
Ooh.
This coastal stretch has long been plagued by stories of phantom accidents, where witnesses swear they've seen cars crash or roll, only to find nothing when they stop. One tale speaks of a driver who saw a sedan swerve violently ahead of him, tumbling into a ditch. He pulled over, rushing to help, yet when he reached the spot, there was no car, no wreckage, not even tire marks. Only the faint smell of burning rubber hung in the air. The highway has claimed many lives over the decades, particularly in its earlier years, when sharp turns and poor visibility made it treacherous. Locals believe the spirits of those who died here replay their last moments in loops, creating echoes that bleed into the present. Some describe hearing screams carried on the wind, or glimpsing pale faces at the roadside, staring blankly at the passing cars. Fishermen in Warrnambool tell of a woman dressed in white, sometimes appearing at the roadside near midnight, her hair soaked and dripping. They say she is the spirit.
They say she is the girl from... They always use the girl from The Ring. Why? Why do they always use the girl from The Ring? By the way, one time when I almost had alcohol poisoning from tequila, my housemate's boyfriend told me that I looked like the chick from The Ring because my eyeliner was all running, and at the time I had black hair. And they were like, you look like the chick from The Ring. And I'm like, I'm dying. I had 16 shots of tequila in 2 hours. Please help me. Hello, Schlampit. Nice to have you aboard.
Of someone lost to the sea, forever trying to make her way inland, but bound to the asphalt instead. The Prince's Highway is beautiful by day, but once night falls, its beauty curdles into something bleak, a place where the dead refuse to be forgotten, even as the tide pulls them away.
Ooh.
4. Ballarat Daylesford Road, Ballarat Vic. Some roads hold a kind of silence that feels heavy.
Who wants to try and find gold nuggets with me? Because people have found them in the last few years, and gold nuggets worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Dude, that would change my life. My dad got a gold detector from Aldi a few years ago, and he said he would send it to me. I'm gonna get a Fossica's license, and I'm just gonna bush bash around there, and I'm just gonna bush bash around there and find some gold. Okay, look, I'm never gonna own a house in this economy unless I literally get gold rush with it. All right, look, they didn't find all the gold. There's still some gold left, and we can do it. We can find it. We can do it.
As though it's listening to you. The Ballarat Daylesford Road is one of them. By day, it's a scenic stretch through the bush, but by night, drivers describe it as oppressive, where headlights seem swallowed by the darkness, and every shadow lingers too long. Stories abound of a woman in white, standing on the roadside with her arm raised, thumb extended like a hitchhiker. Some say she appears young, others describe her as middle-aged, but all agree on one chilling detail when drivers pull over to offer her a ride. She vanishes. This legend has earned her the name, the Vanishing Hitchhiker of Ballarat Road. Locals say...
Oh, you live in an old gold mining town. Do you ever go look for gold? Do you ever? Yeah, I'm heaps keen to try it. I'll have to do it in winter though, so I'll probably have to wait till next year. And hopefully by then I have my car fucking fixed. Hopefully by then I've gotten my shit together. I couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking, oh, I feel so bad for not giving my parents $12,000. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I was thinking about it. And then I was like, no, I've given them enough. I could have put a 10% deposit. With the amount of money that I gave them, I could have put a 10% deposit down on a flat and like had a mortgage. And just kept me up all night thinking about it. I'm like, if I was rich, I would totally give them money, but I'm just not rich.
She is the spirit of a nurse who died in a car accident decades ago while traveling home from a long shift. Others whisper she might be older than that, a lost soul from the gold rush days, when the road was traveled by horse-drawn carriages and fortune seekers who didn't always make it back alive.
I mean, those rubber-soled sneakers aren't exactly giving gold rush, hey? They're not exactly. No mortgage and still guilt. That's a rough lose-lose. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, especially from my mum, it doesn't matter what I do, it's never good enough for her. Like, it's never good enough for her. And I could literally sacrifice myself for her. Well, I do. I used to sacrifice myself for that family all the time. And they like, it's never good enough. Whatever I do is never good enough. So I've just given up trying, really. Kind of assholes.
Some motorists claim the haunting goes beyond sightings. They've heard faint tapping on their windows, like knuckles against the glass, or felt their steering wheel tug suddenly, as if an unseen passenger has taken hold. Would you risk stopping, knowing her request for a ride may be more curse than plea? Or would you drive on, leaving her to stand forever at the edge of the app?
I don't know, is she hot? I have a lot of questions. Look, I would have to be in the moment, you know? Can't really decide. It's like I feel like some chicks are worth getting cursed, you know? I feel like me, I feel like I'm worth taking on the curse, you know? But not every gal is. It's a case by case, you know, assessment. You gotta, it's a case by case basis, guys. You know, you've just got to ask yourself, is this bitch worth the curse? And sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes it's just, you know, it's just that good of an experience. You gotta take the risk.
Asphalt, waiting for someone brave or foolish enough to answer. 3. Monash Freeway.
Monash Freeway.
One of Melbourne's busiest arteries. The Monash Freeway doesn't strike most people as haunted. It's all concrete, lights, and the endless roar of traffic. Yet among police officers...
And the endless roar of international students try to cross the road at Monash University without looking. And you have to slam on your brakes. That's happened. I've only driven on this road like 3 times when I was a social worker in that area, when I was working in housing. And we had like some properties, some emergency housing, crisis housing out in that area. And the 3 times that I've driven on that road, I've almost always run over an international student. Like, can they teach the kids how like crossing lights work? I think that might be good. Like, I know you got into like engineering at Monash, so you're probably very smart. So it should be easy to like teach you how to press the button and wait for the green man. Please stop trying to cross the road. I'm gonna run you over in my car.
Officers, tow truck drivers, and long-haul commuters. There's a quieter set of stories that don't make the papers. A phantom car is said to stalk this freeway at night. Witnesses describe it as an old model sedan, sometimes black, sometimes silver, with headlights that blaze too brightly. It weaves recklessly through lanes, tailgates aggressively, and then, without warning, vanishes into thin air. No exit, no shoulder stop, just gone. One tow truck driver recounted being followed for nearly 5 kilometers by this spectral vehicle, its headlights blinding him in the mirrors. When he finally pulled aside to let it pass, the car dissolved into the dark, leaving only the smell of exhaust in the air.
Hate it when that happens.
Then, there are the strange sounds. Commuters have reported hearing the distinct screech of brakes or the crunch of a collision nearby, only to find no accident at all. Some even claim to have seen wrecks out of the corner of their eyes, mangled cars, and injured figures before the image flickers away. The Monash has seen its share of deadly accidents over the years, and some say those lost linger, replaying their last drives along the freeway.
Do good cars go to heaven? I hope so, Ricochet. I hope they do. I hope they do. I want them to go to heaven.
Perhaps the ghosts aren't looking to frighten. They're simply stuck in an endless commute with no off-ramp. But if you ever find yourself being followed by lights that seem too persistent, ask yourself, is it a reckless driver or something far older than the road itself? 2. Great Alpine Road, Gippsland, Vic.
This is a road I haven't been on. This is actually one I haven't been on. How exciting. How exciting. I haven't been like to this part of Victoria. So exciting.
The Great Alpine Road winds through mountains and valleys, a breathtaking drive by day, but by night, it becomes a treacherous serpent of blind curves and sudden drops. For decades, tales of spectral figures along its fog-bound stretches have unsettled travelers brave enough to attempt it after dark. The most famous legend is that of the Grey Rider. Motorists claim to see the outline of a man on horseback, riding along the verge or even crossing the asphalt in front of them. Sometimes he's dressed in a long coat. Sometimes he appears little more than a shadow, but the horse's hooves make no sound. This road has a bloody history. During the gold rush, it served as a vital route between diggings, and bushrangers frequently ambushed travelers here. Many were killed and buried hastily by the roadside. Locals say the Grey Rider is the spirit of one such outlaw, condemned to patrol his hunting ground.
Was he hot?
Though some believe he's a
I
protector,
need details.
appearing as a warning before accidents occur. Drivers also report strange phenomena, radios hissing with voices, headlights dimming inexplicably, and the overwhelming sense of being watched by eyes hidden in the mist. The fog itself seems to cling unnaturally thick in some areas, forcing motorists to slow to a crawl as the road dissolves around them. Would you brave the Great Alpine at night, knowing every curve might hold more than just danger?
I mean,
On this
yeah,
road,
probably.
History rides alongside you, and not every traveler makes it to the other side. 1. Hanging Rock Road.
Oh, I'm not
Macedon
paying
Ranges,
to go
BIC.
there. Stop it.
The road to Hanging Rock has never been ordinary.
I've driven
Even
along there
before the
heaps of
famous
times that
tale of
night.
Schoolgirls vanishing in the 1900 novel Picnic at Hanging Rock. Locals already whispered that the land held a presence that refused to be tamed. The road that winds
I
toward
refuse to pay
carries
$10
that
more
same
like it.
unease, a path where headlights feel weaker, where silence settles too thick, and where more than a few travelers have sworn they were not alone. Hanging Rock itself is an ancient volcanic formation, a jagged crown of stone that looms over the countryside. Indigenous traditions regard it as a place of deep spiritual power, and some say the road leading to it carries the residue of that sacred, untouchable energy. By the time settlers arrived, the land already had a reputation for swallowing those who lingered too long. Modern drivers speak of shadowy...
What do you get for $10? You get to drive up the road and go to like, there's like a gate and you get to go up the road to like look at Hanging Rock. I don't know. I just kept on driving along the road because, look, I don't pay to look at shit, okay? Like, no, that's ridiculous.
Figures drifting across the road too tall, too thin, their forms dissolving into the bush as quickly as they appear. Sometimes, the figures don't move at all. They just stand, watching, their faces obscured, forcing motorists to slam their brakes only to find the asphalt empty again. But perhaps the most unnerving tales are those of lost time. Visitors driving at night have reported arriving at their destination hours later than expected, with no memory of having stopped. One couple claimed they turned off the engine after feeling suddenly drowsy. When they awoke, the car clock read 3 hours later, yet the petrol gauge hadn't moved an inch.
Maybe they would just stop reviving surviving, okay? Don't drive when you're tired, guys. Remember when they were pushing that whole thing? If you're tired, you gotta, and they were giving like people free coffee, like at like truck stops. Stop, revive, survive, guys. That's what they were doing. They were being responsible drivers, and we like to see it.
Whether it's the lingering power of the land, the restless echo of the lost, or something older that refuses to be named, Hanging Rock Road carries an atmosphere unlike any other in Victoria. Some roads are shortcuts, some are detours, but this one feels...
I've probably driven up that road like nothing. There's nothing more sexy than responsible driving. Well, really responsible driving or really like irresponsible driving are both really hot. Like, I do like to be in the passenger seat of like somebody that's very skilled at driving and will like go up the mountains for like a rally drive, because like I have a Mini, so it's like very good for rally driving. And a friend of mine is like very, very, very skilled driver, and they will use like the Tiptronic gears and they will just like fang it around like insanely fast. And I don't have that level of skill, right? I don't have that level of skill that I wouldn't like spin out and crash. But when someone else is driving like that, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. You have to do it like in the middle of the night. You have to do it really early in the morning, like 1, 2, 3 p.m., 3 a.m. Otherwise you're going to get, you know, busted. But it's so much fun. I love it. I've got to say, I love being in the passenger seat of like a man that can drive at high speeds. It's, I don't know. I find it fun. I find it very fun. It is good. It is fun.
Feels like a passage into another world. And once you drive it,
Leb or Veet are both one of each of my rally driving friends. It's mad fun. I do enjoy it. It's yeah. I don't know. It's just fun. It's just fun, guys. It's just fun.
Part of you never truly leaves. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this chilling journey, don't forget to like, comment with your favorite haunted location, and subscribe for more weekly videos from...
Hello, Catzilla. Happy weekend to you. Anyway, I just thought whenever I've driven on those roads at night, I've driven on all of them except for the one in Gippsland, because I don't think I've ever been there. Favorite haunted place, Elizabeth Street Markers. I mean, there's definitely some type of activity going on at Elizabeth Street Markers. It's there's definitely some sights there on a Friday night, or even on a Friday morning, probably, to be honest. 15 most haunted prisons in Australia. Oh. What will AI man come up with next? Probably some more stuff he pulled from his bum. The upstairs at Russell Street has it worse, in your opinion? Probably. King's Cross Macca's in Sydney used to be pretty amazing for that type of thing, but they shut down all the nightclubs, so nothing going on there anymore, unfortunately. I'll tell you a story of when I was about 18 or 19. Anyway, I was like up I was up late at night finishing an assignment for uni, and I lived in Potts Point at the time, and you know, King's Cross has a 24-hour Macca's, and I was like, you know what, like I've been doing so well. Like I was gonna get up early, go to the library, and type up my assignment to hand it in, because I didn't have a laptop because I was poor, so I didn't have a laptop like all the other kids. I had to go to the library and use the laptop there, so I would write out my shit by hand. Anyway, I was like, you know what? I've got a few dollars. I'm gonna go get a Chocky Sundae from King's Cross Macca's. So, you know, I had a bit of mascara, a bit of eyeliner on, but I was in my pajamas, and I was like, whatever. I put on some Uggies, and I walked to the Macca's, and anyway, there were these like cops in there, and they were like, are you okay, love? And I was like, oh yeah, I just live around the corner, you know, it's up late, finishing an assignment, because I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning by this stage, by the time I finally, you know, left to go get my sundae. And they were like, they walked me home. They were like, we don't want you walking home by yourself. And they like walked home, and they like made sure that I like got into my building safely and everything. And I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, police officers. That's so nice. Anyway, that's one of my stories from King Cross and Macca's. So there you go. There were some nice police officers who walked me home because they were worried about me in my Hello Kitty pajamas.
Welcome to a chilling journey through the 15 most haunted prisons in Australia. These eerie locations are not just filled with dark history, but are also home to restless spirits and terrifying ghost stories. From the cold stone walls of Fremantle Prison to the notorious Goulburn Gaol, prepare yourself for a spine-tingling look at Australia's most haunted penal institutions. 1. Fremantle Prison. Fremantle Prison in Western Australia is notorious for its violent history, with tales of convicts who suffered under
Goulburn? Yeah, I caught Goulburn, and I was like, does he mean Goulburn? I assume he means Goulburn. A lot of people where you live go to the grocery store and movie house in their pajamas. Yeah, pajamas are cozy. Pajamas are cozy. But you have to understand, Ricochet, this is like going to like and I don't know what any of the red light districts in America are, but this is like whatever the red light district of New York is. Is it like Soho or something? I'm not sure. But it's like going to one of like the most seediest, dangerous like places in like the biggest city in your country in your pajamas. Like that's what I did. And I looked really young for my age, and I was very pretty. I looked very young for my age, and I was wearing Hello Kitty pajamas. So there could have been like a lot of like PDF files that probably could have thought that I was like, you know, 13, 14, 15, because my first few years at uni, a lot of people thought I was like a child genius that got into university like early. You know how occasionally like they're those kids that are like 12, they finish like high school at 12, 13. Yeah, I'm not joking, Delta. People actually asked me that. They were like, oh, you got fast tracked through high school. And I was like, no, I didn't. I went to school for 13 years. What are you talking about? And they were like, how old are you? And I was like, I was 17 when I started uni because my birthday's in March, but I turned 18 like after like the first few weeks of uni. Yeah, and people used to ask me, and people used to think that I had someone call the cops once at the pub because they thought that I had a fake ID. And they called the cops, and the cops checked it. They ran the numbers and everything, and they were like, no, this is a real driver's license. And the guy had to apologize to me. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You look so young. And I was like, well, what do you want from me, okay? My mum starved me when I was little, and I didn't produce human growth hormone for a few years, okay? That's another story from my childhood. My mom took me to all these specialists when I was little because they were worried about why I wasn't growing. All these doctors were worried about why I wasn't growing, and they thought I like had some disease where I wasn't producing human growth hormone. But yeah, my mum was like feeding me about a quarter of the calories that I needed because she hated me. And that's why I'm so small. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so small, because I'm the only person that's small in my family, so it doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, when you're like a certain build or something, people just kind of think you're a lot younger than you are. I don't know.
Brutal conditions. One ghostly figure, thought to be Moondine Joe, a famous bushranger, is seen pacing his cell in frustration. His footsteps echo through the hallways, especially on nights when the prison is eerily quiet. Visitors often hear chains rattling and cold whispers, as if Joe is still plotting his escape.
Joe sounds hot.
His cell is freezing.
You single?
With sudden drafts even in
Are there
summer,
any...
and guards and visitors...
Is there a lady ghost in Joe's life? I need to know. Hit me up, Joe. Hit me up.
Report feeling a heavy presence lingering in the air. 2. Old Melbourne Gale, where the infamous...
Old Melbourne Gale. G'day, cunts. My name's Melbourne Gale, and I'm looking for a Mrs. Gale. If you're out there, love, hit me up. I'll meet you at Swanston Street. Swanston Street, trying to think what's on Swanston Street. Macca's? Is there a Macca's? No, Gomez. What's that place called? The Mexican place? I don't know. I can't remember. Spectrophiliac? Yeah, I could be one of those. Look. Placebo have an album called Sleeping with Ghosts, and there is a spectrophiliac image on that album cover. Let's check it out. I mean, can I move out of the way? Can you see that? Look, he's doing sexy times with the ghost. He's doing sexy times with the ghost, guys. So it's not my fault, okay? I used to listen to a lot of Placebo. It's not my fault. It rotted my brain, and it made me want to do sexy times with ghosts. Look at that. Look at the ghost booby. It looks pretty good, I have to say. Damn. You can't. I'm in the way. Help me. Let's visit. What's gonna happen? It's Russian. Is it Russian? Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. There you go. Look at that. Look at that booty. It's not my fault. How was I supposed to resist this bootylicious ghost, okay? You know, goth girls want to bang ghosts. It's not my fault. You know, girls just want to have fun, and goth girls just want to bang ghosts. It's how we roll. But anyway, back to Mr. and Mrs. Gale. Mr. and Mrs. Melbourne Gale. Let's go.
Outlaw Ned Kelly was executed, holds a particularly dark aura. Tour guides recount encounters with a shadowy figure believed to be Kelly himself. His spirit supposedly roams near the gallows, and some say they feel watched, sensing Kelly's cold gaze following them. The gallows are a hotspot for paranormal activity, with sounds of creaking ropes and low moans filling the room. Many visitors report...
I mean, do we know what kind of moans they are? I mean, I know people will like... Yeah, it does sound sexy. That sounds hot, not gonna lie. I want to hear Ned Kelly moaning, if you know what I mean. Jeez.
Feeling cold chills and an oppressive weight, as if the prison itself remembers every life it claimed. 3. Bogo Road. Gale. Queensland's Bogo Road Gale is haunted by the ghost of Ernest Austin, the last man executed in the prison.
It's the correct English spelling of jail. God help your soul, Mr. American AI man. God help your soul.
Guards and former inmates claim they still hear his unsettling laugh, echoing through cell block C. Austin's spirit is said to be malevolent. He appears as a dark figure with blood-red eyes. Visitors have reported an overwhelming sense of dread and, occasionally, the sensation of being touched by icy fingers. On certain nights,
yeah, well, they've got chains, they've got ropes, there's moaning. There were whips involved too in the convict times. Like, there were definitely whips, you know. Not the fun kind, the kind that like tore your back open, but I mean, still, you know. I don't know. It was very kinky. It's very kinky if you think about it. It is very kinky.
Guards hear footsteps pacing back and forth, as though Austin is reliving his last hours. 4. Maitland Gaol.
Jail,
Maitland
for the
Gaol
love
in
of
New
God.
South Wales, known for its violent past, houses numerous restless spirits. The cell blocks are filled with echoes of the past. Some guards report hearing voices in empty rooms or seeing faint faces peering through cell doors. The spirit of a prisoner killed in a gang fight is said to haunt the yard, where his ghost appears as a shadow in the corner of one cell. Those who venture into the solitary confinement wing experience the
Buy an ex-jail and make it a BDSM club. That honestly sounds very exhausting. Honestly, like, whenever I feel like, I might like a bit of company, I'm like, actually, by the time I like, you know, whatever, I'm just like, I'm probably already tired and ready to go to bed. It's just like relations with other people. I'm just like, my health is at the level where I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed. It's too much effort. It's too much effort. It's probably gonna break my back in half. I'm just gonna go to sleep and, you know, I don't know. Everything is so much effort at this stage. At this stage in my life, I'm just like, it'll pass.
heaviest energy, feeling as though unseen hands are pushing them away. 5. Adelaide Gaol.
Jail, for the love
Adelaide
of
Gaol
God.
is home to the spirit of a former prison guard named Ben, who was killed by inmates while on duty.
Yeah, we don't want to screw a screw. We don't want to screw a screw. So Ben, sorry Ben, you're not on our list of ghosts we want to bang. We like the bad boys, not the oppressors. No, we're not into you, Ben. Sorry. You're not hot enough to be on my ghost list of bangable ghosts, so you lose.
Ben is often seen patrolling the hallways, his figure appearing and disappearing near the old cell blocks. His ghost is harmless, but seems forever tied to his role, appearing as a tall shadow and making light footsteps. People who have encountered Ben's ghost report feeling a chill. And some believe he's still protecting
Hot
the
skeleton
prison from
man.
any escapes.
Skeleton man.
6. Parramatta Correctional Centre.
Oh, I know this one.
In Parramatta
Yay.
Correctional Centre, New South Wales. Old
New
Bill
South
is a
Wales.
legend among guards and inmates alike. Bill, a former prisoner who died in his cell, has been seen pacing the hallways, muttering to himself. Guards often hear the clanking of his chains in the dead of night, followed by a strange, heavy silence.
Parramatta is my footy team as well. Parramatta Eels. Yay. I think I've already told this story before. But I think Parramatta Jail closed in 2011, but it's one of the oldest jails in Australia, if not the oldest one. It's very, very old. It's been around since like colonial times, because Parramatta, after Farm Cove in Sydney, was the first where the first fleet ended up setting up the first European settlement. 2 weeks later, they went up the Parramatta River and they settled Parramatta. So this is like the second place that was settled by Europeans in Australia. And so everything there is really, really old. It's where like the original government house is, old government house. The oldest building in Australia, Elizabeth Farm, is in the Para area. Yeah, this was closed in 2011, and the RSPCA were gonna buy it, and they went and inspected it, and they said it wasn't fit to keep dogs in. They said like it would be cruel to put animals in the cells, and the Department of Corrections had been keeping humans in there up until 2011. So that's pretty messed up, because the RSPCA were like, yeah, we treat our dogs better than you guys treat your prisoners. So food for thought. But this, I will say, this does have an energy when you drive past it. Like, I do think this is actually haunted. There are a lot of like convict era stuff around the Parramatta area, I will say. Like, it is an area that I'm pretty familiar with. Spent a good percentage of my life in this, well, south of here. Parramatta, like, this is North Parramatta, this is the posh part. I definitely like didn't live in this area. The suburb that I lived in has been kicked out of Parramatta Council for being too ghetto, and now it's a part of the new amalgamated Cumberland Council, because they put all the no suburbs together. But that's okay. We're ghetto and we're proud. It's a lifestyle.
Those brave enough to enter his cell feel a sudden drop in temperature and a pressing weight, as if Bill is watching them, reminding everyone of his unfinished business. 7. Port Arthur. Penal settlement.
Keep your penal to yourself,
Penal
mate.
Settlement in Tasmania is infamous.
Look, Port Arthur is double haunted from all the people that Martin Bryant shot and from all the convict stuff. It's double haunted. And I like to think that like they have like intergenerational like ghost friendships. Like somebody that was shot in the 90s is like friends from somebody that died in like the 1790s, and they're like you know what I mean? They're friends. And I'd like to think about that. I don't know. I think that would be nice. I think that would be nice for them.
For the haunting Lady in Blue.
Ooh.
Her story is tragic. She's believed to be the spirit of a woman who lost her family and went mad in confinement. She's seen wandering the punishment cells. Her form...
Oh, Seb said their mum used to do the ghost tours at Port Arthur. Do you have any goss for us? Do you have any goss? Let us know. We need to know the goss.
Barely visible in the dim light. People hear her soft cries echoing through the corridors, with some claiming to see her weeping face as they pass by. Her sadness permeates the air, leaving visitors with a lingering sense of grief.
Yeah, honestly, when they start talking about like moaning and ropes and stuff, it really does just sound like a nice Friday night in, doesn't it? Everyone in this chat needs help, but especially me. I probably need the most help. It's okay.
8. J. Ward Asylum for the criminally insane. J. Ward Asylum, which once housed both prisoners and mentally ill inmates, is haunted by a spirit named Bill Wallace. Bill, who passed away in his cell, is notorious for his mischievous hauntings, banging on doors and leaving cold spots throughout the building.
Well, at least someone's getting banged.
Report hearing footsteps and the faint sound of chains dragging. Some feel a cold touch, as if Bill is reaching out from beyond, bound forever to the walls of J. Ward. 9.
Clean your bathroom, for God's sakes.
St. Helena Island Prison. The isolated St. Helena Island Prison is haunted by the spirit of a young convict named Jacob. Legend says Jacob died alone, longing for his family, and his sorrowful cries still echo across the island. Some visitors report hearing his voice on quiet nights, calling out for his mother. His presence is often felt near the cell where he spent his last days, a reminder of his tragic fate. The island feels frozen in time, with Jacob's ghostly figure sometimes appearing as a faint shadow on the prison grounds. 10. Trial Bay Gaol,
Jail for the love
Trial
of all
Bay
that is
Gale
holy,
haunted
please,
by
mate.
a former prisoner named Thomas,
Ooh,
who died while
Tom.
trying to escape.
Tom's
His
a bad
ghost is
boy.
often seen near the sea cliffs, staring out at the ocean as though he's still planning his escape. On misty nights, people have reported hearing faint cries carried by the wind and seeing a figure standing by the edge, waiting for a chance at freedom that never came. The cliffs themselves feel eerie, as though Thomas's spirit lingers, hoping for the escape he never achieved. 11. Old Dubbo Gale is haunted by the spirit of an executioner.
Old Dubbo Jail. I am also very familiar with Dubbo, I will say. I am a fan of Dubbo. I do really love like the super bogan people out there. Not to like, I don't mean bogan in like the pejorative like classist way, because you know I come from that background as well, not casting any stones at anyone, but they're just you know, just really down to earth hilarious people, and they would, yeah, it's just a good time. Going into pubs in Dubbo is it's a good time, I will say. I will say it does bring out my does bring out something in me, let's just say.
Worked in the prison's gallows. The executioner is said to appear as a shadowy figure, watching visitors as they explore the execution yard. Some say they feel his presence most strongly near the gallows, where the air grows cold, and the sounds of his work seem to linger. Many experience chills, and even hear faint whispers, as if the spirits of those he executed have not forgiven him. 12. Goulburn Gale.
Hang on, guys. Sorry. Someone keeps on messaging me and I left my phone near my bed. Just give me a second. me. What? There we go. La 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 la. I hope that's not important because I can't find my phone. I don't know where it is. It's like lost in my bed or something. It's lost. I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was on my bed and it's... Oh, someone's ringing it. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, I am the biggest bimbo ever. It was on my bedside table where I looked like 5 times, but I just didn't see it. My brain just was like, no, it's not there. And I looked and I looked and I looked and I was like, it must be in my bed. Let me rip off every blanket and annoy my cat. And yeah, I don't know, guys. Look, like, we're not always firing on all cylinders sometimes. And yep. It's it's hard out there sometimes, you know. Sorry, I'm just trying to recalibrate my VTuber, and she's very confused about where she is. Help me. Maybe a ghost is trying to hook up with me. Wait, there we go. Do. Is it shiny? Yeah, it is shiny. It is shiny. I don't know. My brain just didn't recognize it. You hope it isn't one of those scam calls. No, it wasn't actually, but it's not super important either. So it can wait. It can wait.
Woolburn Gaol, known as Australia's Supermax prison, holds a dark history of extreme violence and punishment. One of the most notorious hauntings is that of a former inmate named Charlie, who met a brutal end after an altercation with guards. It's said that Charlie's spirit haunts the maximum security wing, where guards report feeling an intense, heavy presence as they patrol the cells. Many experience sudden cold spots, and some have seen a shadowy figure standing in the corner of their eye, disappearing when they turn to look. Visitors to the prison have reported feeling a rush of dread in Charlie's old cell, with some even hearing muffled voices and loud bangs, as if the past violence is playing out once more. 13. Richmond Gaol, one of Australia's oldest prisons, located in Tasmania, has a reputation for eerie encounters.
Oh, I've been to this one. I went to visit my cousin in Tassie and we went to Richmond Jail.
Among the most chilling hauntings is that of a former convict named Mary, who was imprisoned under harsh conditions. Mary, who endured solitary confinement and starvation, is said to roam the dark cells, her presence especially strong in the women's quarters. Visitors often feel sudden cold drafts and hear faint sobbing echoing through the stone walls.
I think Mary would be single, Delta. I think you're in with a chance. With old Mary, I reckon. I reckon she's pretty lonely too.
Some have even seen Mary's apparition, a frail woman with hollow eyes, wandering the corridors, her figure disappearing into shadows. The air in her cell is thick with sorrow, and visitors frequently report feeling a lingering sadness, as if Mary's spirit is still bound to the place that caused her so much suffering. Richmond Jail's oppressive atmosphere serves as a reminder of its dark past and the restless spirits who remain. 14. Long Bay
Long
Gaol.
Bay! I know Long Bay!
Long Bay Gaol in New South Wales has a reputation for its violent energy. The prison is haunted by the vengeful spirit of a former inmate who...
I have some mates that have been in Long Bay. Just putting that out there. Some of my boys have been in Long Bay.
who is known to shove visitors and staff. Guards...
Thoughts on a spooky Dark Souls stream? I haven't played Dark Souls in a minute, and I don't know if my dexterity is up to playing Dark Souls because I found it a very difficult game to play even when my hands did work properly. But I might do a practice run and see how I go. See if I have the muscle memory for Dark Souls. But I wouldn't mind playing like Bloodborne or something like that again. I really enjoyed that game. We'll see how we go.
report feeling uneasy near the oldest cells, especially when the air grows cold without warning. The presence in Long Bay Jail is aggressive, a dark force that some believe...
Why are we now simping on ghosts? Just because I'm a goth girl. I don't know. I think it's kind of hot. Look, I don't know. Maybe it's because like I read, Wuthering Heights as a child, and it's the whole like Heathcliff and Kathy, Kathy's ghost. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the Placebo album, Sleeping with Ghosts. Maybe it's a combination of all of these things. But, it's just kind of hot. Yeah, I'm going to start playing horror games on Saturday and Sundays as part of like the spooky day times. And then just go into like the normal nighttime stream. Just keep it rolling. Yeah, give me some recommendations. That would be awesome. Yeah, gonna do it. But yeah, ghosts are hot. Sorry, but they're hot. We like it. It's
believe harbors deep anger, forever haunting the prison. 15.
Bathurst
Gaol.
Bathurst Jail.
Bathurst Gaol is home to the spirit of a prisoner who died in a riot. His ghost appears in the early morning, pacing the cell.
One of my friends was a social worker there. I don't know if they still are, to be honest. Haven't spoken to them in a few years. But yeah, it's safe to say that place is haunted, I think. From what I've heard, it's pretty spoopy.
Block as if reliving the night of his death. People report hearing his footsteps and even seeing his face at the cell windows. The atmosphere is tense, filled with the anger and desperation of those who lost their lives in the violence. His spirit seems restless, as though he seeks revenge or justice for the life he lost within these walls. As we've seen, the 15 most haunted prisons in Australia are more than just remnants of the past. They are the sites of lingering souls and unsolved mysteries. Which one haunted your imagination the most? Don't forget to like, subscribe.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about the low moans of Ned Kelly and the sound of his ropes and his low moans and his, I don't know. I don't think this video was supposed to turn me on. Do I need counseling? Yeah, I probably do. I should probably see someone. The helmet stays on in the bedroom. Yeah, damn straight it does. Those are the rules. Only the helmet stays on in the bedroom. Okay, I need to stop. Somebody needs to arrest me. Actually, that would probably turn me on at this point. Let's not. Darkness, history is scary. Ooh.
Australia.
I feel like I've only been editing videos for a few months, but I feel like I do a better job of editing than that dude, honestly. Like, what is going on?
Land of stunning landscapes and thrilling mysteries. But hidden within its beautiful terrain are places steeped in dark history and chilling hauntings. In this video, we're taking you on a spine-tingling journey to uncover the 15 most haunted places in Australia.
Ooh.
From eerie old prisons to cursed
Oh no,
natural
not the
pools,
Gales. Are we back to the
these stories
Gales?
of ghostly encounters and restless spirits will leave you questioning what's lurking in the shadows. 1. Monte Cristo Homestead, New South Wales. The Monte Cristo homestead looms over Junee, shrouded in the
I think we
whispered
watched this video. I remember him saying Junee instead of Junie. It's Junie, mate. This is Australia, all right? We don't like your fancy way of speaking here. Get good. Get good, buddy. How dare you? Well, that might be all... Yeah, imposter, exactly. We don't appreciate that. We don't appreciate that around here. Rude. That might be all the Australian content that Mr. Computer Man has. Should we look at something in Malaysia for our Southeast Asian friends? Let's look at some... Oh, actually, that's not an AI generated video. Australia's Christmas Island wasn't always part of Australia. All I really know about Christmas Island is the crabs, to be honest. Who doesn't have the accents? Everybody who's not Australian doesn't have the accent. Those are the rules. It was once a part of Singapore during the British rule. Ah, I didn't know that. I love Singapore, though. I love Singapore. Do you know what I love about Singapore is that at the airport and like at other public places, and a lot of the news reporters as well, they have Australian accents. They speak English with an Australian accent, not an American accent. And like, we're your neighbors, we're friends. Like, I think all of Asia, I think everybody in the Asian region should speak English with an Australian accent, not an American accent, because would it, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't, but in my personal opinion, the American accent is yucky and the Australian accent is much more friendlier and nicer. And yeah, I love that. I love just hearing the English voice having an Australian accent. It's so nice. It's so nice. Yeah, Singapore is a beautiful, except the humidity makes my hair frizzy. But apart from that, you know, we like it. Oh, I don't know what that is, but I'm not watching it. That's terrifying. Oh, Singapore Airport is the greatest airport ever. The Koi Pond, the Butterfly Garden, the Louis Vuitton Museum. Ooh, it makes me feel so fancy. What should we watch? I'm looking for stuff that's I won't get copyrighted on. I'm gonna be going to Singapore next year, hopefully. I'm probably going to fly to Singapore, spend a few days in Singapore, then go to Japan, then go to Korea, and then go to Taiwan, and then fly home. The giant dome at the airport is called Jewel at Changi Airport. Ooh. It's very nice anyway. It's definitely the best airport in the world. I've spent 18 hours at that airport before. Like, cause I was too poor to like be able to afford a hotel for the night. So this was when I was like very young. This was when I was like 17 or 18. So yeah, I just slept at the airport, but and Singapore Airlines are also like just super, super, super good airline. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. And all the employees that work for Singapore Airlines are like super hot as well. So that's always good. We do like that. Give me something good to watch. Ten haunted bridges in New South Wales. I don't think we watched this. There we go. Haunted bridges in New South Wales. Ooh.
Bridges are meant to connect.
Oh no, we did watch this. We did watch this. I remember he talked about the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Oh, boo. Repeating content. How dare I? Yeah, let's look at places in Singapore. Ten most haunted places in Singapore. $15 most haunted places in Singapore. I mean, why have 10 when we can have 15? Did I see the Hollow Knight sequel finally had a date? No, I did not.
Welcome to Creepy Experience, where the line between the living and the dead blurs.
Well, I don't like that,
In today's
sir.
episode, we're diving into the most terrifying haunted places in Singapore. Are you ready to uncover the chilling stories that linger in the shadows?
No, I'm scared. Hold me.
Hospital.
Someone hold me.
Changi Hospital is infamous for its dark history.
It's Changi, for the love of God. Okay, I have to apologize for if it's any consolation. This guy says everything, all the Australian places completely wrong, and he pronounces jail as Gale because it's spelled the British way. All right, take a deep breath. If you're Singaporean, I apologize. It's not my fault. He's an AI man, and I only watch his content because I don't think I'll get DMCA'd because he's a robot man, and he can't find me.
Which dates back to World War II. Once a military hospital, it became a site of tragedy during the Japanese occupation, with many soldiers and civilians meeting horrific ends here. The spirits of these souls are said to still haunt the hospital's hallways. Nurses report eerie footsteps in empty rooms, while patients claim to have seen figures standing by their beds at night. One nurse spoke of hearing the sounds of a man's desperate cry for help in a deserted ward, only to find no one there. The most chilling encounter involves a soldier in full uniform, roaming the hallways, his face pale and lifeless. Though the building has been
Does anyone know where the Changi prisoner of war camp was in Singapore? I know it was in Singapore, but I just don't remember. I just don't remember where. I bet that would be super haunted. I think about 15,000 Australian prisoners of war taken by the Japanese were at the Changi prisoner of war camp, but I don't remember because I learnt about it in high school, and I had to learn a lot of new stuff for uni, so my brain has pushed it out. But yeah, I don't remember. This is the hospital, but I'm talking about the prisoner of war camp. I don't know what it was called other than Changi prisoner of war camp, where the Japanese kept all the Australian soldiers. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Purposed, its dark
It might be in the
lingers,
video. Who knows?
Leaving an unsettling feeling in the air. Could it be that the spirits of Changi Hospital's past still refuse to leave? 2. The Istana Wood Nook.
Ooh.
The Istana Wood Nook, a grand mansion hidden in the greenery, is a place where mystery and tragedy collide. Built in the late 19th century, it was once a symbol of luxury. However, after a devastating fire in the early 1900s, the mansion was abandoned. Local legends say the fire was no accident, and the spirits of those who perished still haunt the grounds. Today, the mansion lies in ruins, but visitors report feeling a strange presence as they approach. Some have even claimed to see a woman in a white dress standing by the window, her face hidden in shadow. When approached, she vanishes, leaving only...
When I die, I'm going to make sure I'm wearing a white dress so I can haunt people. Because I feel like if you don't have a white dress, like people just don't recognize you as being like an A-grade ghost. Because I've already got the really long dark hair. So I feel like if I'm wearing a white dress, you know, I will be primed to take up, you know, first place position as like a grade A spirit, I feel like.
The sense of cold despair. Is it the spirits of those who died in the fire still trapped within the ruins?
Probably.
Or is something darker at work here? 3. Tanjong Pagar Railway Station.
Ooh.
Once a bustling train station, Tanjong Pagar Railway Station now sits abandoned, a silent witness to the tragedies of the past. During World War II, this station became a site of horror as many soldiers and civilians...
Americans might make fun of the way that Australians say no, but at least we can say horror. Have you heard them try and say horror? Why can't they say the word horror? They say like whore. That's like they're calling you, you know, a pejorative for sex worker. Whore. I'm watching a horror movie. It's like, oh, are you watching like porn or are you watching a scary movie? Like, imagine making fun of our accent when they can't even pronounce the word horror. It's literally 2 syllables. Not one, you freaking weirdos. Let's listen to that again. Let's all laugh at the Americans.
This station became a site of horror as many soldiers and civilians lost their lives. It is said that their souls still roam the station, unable to find peace. Visitors often hear the sound of train whistles late at night, despite no trains being in sight. Some claim to have seen ghostly figures in old military uniforms walking along the tracks. The most terrifying accounts come from those who feel an invisible presence following them, footsteps echoing in the dark. Could the station be haunted by the spirits of those who never made it to their final destination? The Red House. The Red House, located along Ju Chiat Road, has earned a notorious reputation due to the horrific events that took place within its walls. Once home to a wealthy family.
Well, apparently the railway station is a part of the Malaysian rail network. So it's technically a Malaysian land in Singapore. That is a very interesting fact. Thank you, Catzilla. We do appreciate that. It's kind of like an embassy, how it's like foreign soil within another country. That is interesting. We do like to learn stuff on the Pandora stream. It closed down many years back and was transformed into an underground MRT station. Ooh, that does sound fancier. That does seem a lot fancier.
It became the site of a brutal murder in the 1960s. A jealous man killed his family inside the house, and their spirits are said to still linger.
Oh, that's such a pretty house. That's such a shame. You know what? I would just call an exorcist. I would still live here because this house is too pretty not to live in. Sorry.
Visitors who have dared to enter report hearing strange noises, like whispers and footsteps from empty rooms. Some have even seen shadowy figures standing in the windows, watching passers-by. One chilling encounter.
Look, it's nothing a priest can't fix. I'd get Buddhist monks, I get the Catholic priests, I get everybody in there. Just get everybody in there, cover all your bases. Look, it's even got a little well. You can't say no to this house. It's so freaking cute. It's like a little fairy cottage. I'm moving in. I don't care.
Tells of a woman who felt a cold breeze and suddenly saw a figure in the hallway, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. The house is said to be haunted by the tragedy it witnessed, its spirits forever bound to its red walls. Could the restless souls still haunt the Red House, waiting for justice or redemption?
Maybe.
5. Bukit Brown Cemetery. Bukit Brown Cemetery, one of the oldest and most historically significant cemeteries in Singapore, is
Ooh.
also one of the most haunted. The cemetery is the final resting place for many prominent Chinese pioneers, but the spirits of the deceased are said to never rest.
Here's some places found on Google Maps. Yeah, these videos are so low effort, but I also never get like copyright struck for like playing them, so that's why I play them. And then I just say a bunch of stupid stuff, and that's content, guys. That is the grade A content that you all come to see. So what can I say? I'm doing it for the people.
Visitors to the site often report a sense of being watched or followed, and some have even claimed to see figures moving between the tombstones.
Ooh.
One particularly
That's a really
disturbing
pretty
story
graveyard.
comes from a group of hikers who encountered an old man's apparition near a grave. The figure suddenly vanished when they tried to approach. The spirits of Bukit Brown are believed to be linked to the deep cultural traditions of the Chinese, unable to move on from their final resting place. Is the cemetery truly haunted by the...
Oh no, did they build the highway over some of the graveyard? That's awful, Carzilla. Now the highway's gonna be haunted. You're gonna lurk, you gotta train your legs. Alright, Hyperbovian, you get those gains. I've gotta go to the gym tonight. I don't want to.
souls? Or are they simply lost in time, unable to let go? 6 St. Andrew's Cathedral Street. Andrew's Cathedral, with its beautiful architecture, is not just a place of worship, it's also a place of mystery. During the Japanese occupation, many soldiers and civilians took refuge in the cathedral, where many met their tragic end. Locals claim that the spirits of these lost souls still linger within the cathedral's hallowed walls. One of the most enduring stories is of a nun's ghost, seen walking through the pews, her figure fading when approached. There are also reports of eerie sounds, like faint hymns, being heard late at night when the church is empty. Some say the atmosphere inside the cathedral feels thick and oppressive, as though the past refuses to let go. Could the souls of those who died here still be bound to the cathedral? 7. Pulau Hantu, Ghost Island. Pulau Hantu, also known as Ghost Island, is a small, uninhabited island off the coast of Singapore. Despite its beauty, the island has a terrifying reputation. It is believed to be haunted by the spirits of sailors who died in shipwrecks or battles at sea. Fishermen who ventured too close report eerie happenings, strange lights, chilling voices, and the sensation of being watched. One sailor claims to have seen figures walking along the shore, only to...
Sometimes the sensation of being watched is kinky, and sometimes it's just scary. It depends. It depends on the situation, guys. It really does.
to find the area deserted when he went to investigate. The most terrifying stories come from those who claim to have seen ghostly hands reaching out of the water, trying to pull them in. Is the island truly haunted by the spirits of the lost sailors, forever seeking their way back home?
Maybe.
8. Tua Pek Kong Temple. The Tua Pek Kong Temple in Gailong is not only a place of worship, but also a location known for paranormal activity. The temple is dedicated to Tua Pek Kong, a Taoist god.
Yeah, we respect the dead too, Catzilla. We always respect the dead, and we always respect everybody's religion. That is our rule. Yeah. Like, I'll make jokes about videos, but I wouldn't make jokes. I wouldn't go to somewhere in real life and make jokes, like a place where people have died or anything like that. I just do it on the internet. I'm mainly making fun of the guy that makes these videos, to be fair.
But many believe it also serves as a gateway between the living and the dead. Some visitors have reported hearing whispering voices or feeling an eerie presence around the temple grounds.
Oh.
One story tells of a man who entered the temple at night and saw a shadowy figure kneeling before the statue of Tua Pek Kong. When he turned away for a moment, the figure disappeared. The temple's spiritual aura seems to attract restless spirits, and locals believe that those who disturb the peace may face the wrath of the gods. Could this temple truly be a conduit to the spirit world? The Fullerton Hotel, an iconic luxury hotel located by the Singapore River, hides a dark past beneath its grandeur. Before becoming a 5-star hotel, it was once the General Post Office and served as a military command post during World War II.
Every old General Post Office building is always incredibly beautiful. Even like in Australia, if it used to be a GPO, it's like gorgeous. Like, look at these. Sydney GPO and Melbourne GPO. Although the Melbourne GPO is like a H&M now. But yeah. Like, oh, you can't see it because I'm in the way. As always. Yeah, this is the Sydney General Post Office. And where's the Melbourne one? And this is the Melbourne one. Both such beautiful buildings. They used to care a lot about the post. Not so much. Not so much these days. You're lucky if they don't like chuck it and break whatever your parcels are. But you know, they used to care. They used to have a nice grand building.
Visitors often report strange occurrences in the hotel's hallways. One guest recounted a chilling encounter with a spectral figure in a military uniform walking near the staircase. Others hear ghostly footsteps echoing in empty rooms late at night. Could the spirits of soldiers who once worked here still roam the halls, unable to find rest in the afterlife? Despite the hotel's elegant facade, a lingering sense of unease remains, as though the past continues to haunt its luxurious interiors. 10. McRitchie Reservoir. The McRitchie Reservoir, popular for its serene walking trails and natural beauty, also has a reputation for paranormal activity. Located in one of Singapore's oldest nature reserves, the reservoir is believed to harbor spirits of those who have perished in its...
To think of it, the whole country is haunted, given how small it is. Yeah, it does seem like that. Well, when you pack that much history into such a small place, there's going to be very few places where like nothing, you know, historical has happened. So it seems like that.
Waters. Many hikers have reported hearing unexplained sounds, like voices calling their names or the sensation of someone walking behind them. One night, a lone hiker described feeling a cold, invisible hand gripping his shoulder. When he turned around, no one was there. Some locals believe that the spirits of the drowned may be seeking the company of the living, lost in the water they could never leave behind. The stillness of the reservoir contrasts with the disturbing feeling that something or someone may be watching from the depths. 11. Hall Par Villa. Hall Par Villa, once an amusement park celebrating Chinese folklore, now stands as a haunting reminder of the supernatural. Known for its terrifying depictions of hell and the afterlife, the park is filled with lifelike statues of demons, deities, and mythological creatures.
Hi, guys!
Visitors often feel a sense of dread as they walk past the eerie displays. One visitor recalls walking through the park at night, only to see a figure in the distance slowly follow their every step. When they turned, the figure vanished into the shadows. Many believe the spirits of the figures depicted in the park's displays walk among the visitors, bound to the afterlife they represent. Could the park's unsettling sculptures be more than just inanimate representations? Do they have a life of their own, drawing spirits to them in an endless cycle, trapped between worlds, forever haunting those who dare enter? 12. Changi Beach. Changi Beach, a beautiful stretch of sand, has a dark and tragic history that still lingers today. During World War II, The beach was the site of countless executions carried out by Japanese soldiers. The spirits of these victims are said to remain forever tied to the location of their deaths. Visitors often hear strange noises, soft cries, the sound of chains dragging along the sand, and the faint rustle of leaves when no one is around. One night, a group of friends claimed to see a man walking alone along the shore. When they called out to him, he simply vanished into the air, leaving behind a cold breeze and a lingering sense of dread. Could the souls of those executed at Changi Beach still wander, searching for justice or peace, never able to rest due to the horror they endured in life and death? 13. Sentosa's Fort Silos. Fort Silos, located on Sentosa Island, is known for its rich military history and eerie atmosphere. It was once a key defensive position during World War II, and many soldiers tragically lost their lives while defending the island. Today, Fort Silos is...
Yeah, it was where the Sukching massacre happened. Yeah, that's really sad. Where the Australian prisoner of war camp was, it was liberated. So, I mean, people did starve to death. A lot of Australians did starve to death. But they weren't massacred, because I think it was the 5th Indian Battalion liberated the Australian prisoner of war camp, but I don't remember exactly. But I remember seeing in like history books, there's like photos of just Australian like soldiers that are like skeletons. That's, yeah, hang on. Let me look up where this was, because Changi, World War II. Yeah, like photos like this are really famous in Australia. Why is it mature content? Let me look at this off screen, guys. It might just be because it's disturbing. It wants me to log in. Okay, screw that. One of the survivors, the founding father of Singapore. Ooh, that's cool. Well, good on him. Good on him. Changi was not a camp, but rather a collection of up to 7 prisoner of war and internee camps occupying an area of approximately 25 square kilometers. It came from the peninsula on which it stood at the end of Singapore Island. Prior to the war, the Changi Peninsula had been the British Army's principal base area in Singapore. As a result, the site boasted an extensive and well-constructed military infrastructure. Anyway, that was where the Japanese kept the Australians. But yeah, unfortunately, Catzilla, in Australia, we mainly just learn about Australians. Like, that's our, you know, we don't, we did cover Singapore when we were learning about World War II, but like we only really covered like Australia's role, because yeah. So it is cool to learn about Singaporean history, and I will read up on that tonight, because that sounds really interesting, actually. Very sad, but also very interesting. So I will read about that tonight.
open to the public, but visitors often report a chilling presence. A common story is that of a soldier in uniform, standing at attention, only to disappear when approached. Some claim to hear the distant sounds of gunfire and shouting, as if the battle still rages on. Could the souls of soldiers lost in battle still patrol the fort, forever guarding it even in death? Their spirits might remain tethered to the fort, driven by duty and honor, forever protecting what they once swore to defend. 14. Kutek Puat Hospital. Kutek Puat Hospital, located in Yishun, is not only one of Singapore's modern healthcare facilities, but also a site of unsettling paranormal activity. The hospital was built on land that was once a burial ground, and some believe the spirits of those who were buried here still linger. There have been multiple reports of strange occurrences in the hospital, flickering lights, cold spots, and strange whispers echoing through empty rooms.
Well, look, if any place on Earth is going to be haunted, it's definitely going to be a hospital, because it's literally like a place where life enters and life exits, right? A lot of people die in hospital. A lot of people, it's like basically a life and death terminal, right? People give birth there every day, but people also die there every day. But I also feel like those energies would cancel each other out, right? For every person that dies in hospital, probably like at least one person is born, hopefully. That would be nice.
Recalled hearing a voice call out her name late at night, only to find no one there when she investigated. Some staff have even reported seeing ghostly figures walking along the hallways, vanishing as soon as they are noticed. Could the restless spirits of the buried still haunt the hospital, unable to move on? Or is the land's tragic history fueling these haunting experiences? 15. Tiong Bahru Air Raid Shelter. Tiong Bahru, one of the oldest neighborhoods in Singapore, hides a disturbing relic of World War II, the Tiong Bahru Air Raid Shelter.
I think he meant to say World War II.
This shelter saved many lives, but it's also believed to have witnessed many deaths. Locals say the spirits of those who perished here now haunt the area. Visitors have reported hearing strange sounds, like muffled voices or the faint echoes of air raids. One person described walking through the shelter at night and suddenly feeling the air grow thick, as if something unseen was watching them. Could the souls of those who died in the shelter still be trapped in time, unable
probably
to escape the horrors of the past, their spirits lingering in the cold, dark underground, forever haunted by the terror of the air raids? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more creepy stories. Share your experiences or thoughts in the...
I don't want to. I don't want to. You're not even a real person. You're a robot, man. Stop trying to trick me. I don't believe you. Etc. Etc. Well, guys, I think I might call the stream because I am hungry and I need a nap before I do my nighttime stream. Because, I don't know, I'm just tired. I'm just really tired, and yeah. It's just how it is. Just how it is, I'm afraid. But thank you for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate it. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.